All right. I was going to shift gears here, but I decided that I'm going to extend a little bit on what we just heard from D.C. Reason? Well, it's pretty simple. My next guest, Aiden Buzzetti, is the president of the Bull Moose Project. He has an office in D.C., previously the director of coalitions for the 1776 Project. Aiden, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on, Steve. It's a pleasure.
And I just want you to we were talking about it in the break, just share with the folks your experience with crime in D.C. You're there every day. You're right there in the front row. You get to see it up close. What's the truth?
Well, what I'll tell you is, like I said on the break, it's mostly juveniles. We have juveniles running around these neighborhoods, especially even the wealthy, safer neighborhoods, with guns, just mugging people, sometimes in broad daylight. But also at 6, 8 p.m. when families are taking a walk with their kids and their dogs. It is incessant. It doesn't matter where you are.
This is important. I want people to hear this next part clearly. What is a juvenile in Washington, D.C.?
Anyone under 25.
25. You're 22 years old. You hold somebody up at gunpoint. You shoot them. You're charged as a juvenile delinquent. You're 22, 3, 4. You kill somebody and you go to jail for a couple of years because you're a juvenile?
The DC Council here has a very warped view of enforcing the law. That's what I'll say about that, and that's why I'm glad that President Trump is starting to crack down on it.
Well, I see Uber drivers get murdered. I see Jewish people get murdered because they're Jewish. I hear about 13, 14, 15-year-olds holding people at gunpoint, and people that are 23 and 4 too, apparently, because they're still juveniles in the minds of and yet, Aiden, and I'll finish with it. And yet, these same Democrats who believe that you're a juvenile with a gun is a violent offender until you're 23 or 24 think that people 16 years old should vote. Try to square that up in the logic column, would you? Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah, good luck with that. Anyhow, all right. So you say that we're going to shift gears to the reason you're actually here, but I appreciate your insights into D.C. You say Donald Trump could restore America's golden age with an iconic railroad merger. Well, what does that mean?
So there is a proposed merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern, which would create one of the larger rail companies in the United States. It would create the first transcontinental rail system. Right now, rail systems across the U.S., the rail lines are owned by separate companies, which creates certain delays and complexities when you're moving items or packages on trail cars from coast to coast. Creating one rail line would create more efficiency. It would allow rail companies to compete more with trucking, which is the more dominant form of shipping in the United States. But you have to remember that a transcontinental railroad has been something that even President Lincoln wanted. This is about achieving a 150-year-long dream in America. And right now, with this proposed merger, President Trump has the ability to appoint someone to a commission that reviews the merger and get this through to actually accomplish something that Americans have been wanting for over 100 years.
So what about competition? What about monopolies? What about the things that people are just naturally going to say?
Well, at the Bull Moose Project, we have been very much in favor of a stronger antitrust enforcement agenda, especially on big tech. But what I'll say here is that shipping over rail is not an industry in of itself. They compete with trucks, which again, they ship over 70% of the freight in the United States. This is about allowing rail companies, rail lines to compete with the trucking industry. This isn't just competition within rail, it's competition within shipping in the United States as a whole. And I think what we're going to see when they start reviewing the actual proposed merger is that this will benefit consumers by offering lower prices for shipping, more alternatives for shipping that isn't through trucking, especially for manufacturers that need to ship their goods to ports so we can export them. Overall, I think we're going to see an actual increase in competition and lower shipping prices across the board.
Which would be, very helpful. Plus, it would help the consumer, right? I mean, if you could. Now, look, the trucking industry is going to scream bloody murder. I'm sure of that. No question. They're going to say, you can't do that because it'll impact their profits. But maybe it'll make everybody more competitive.
That's what I believe. I do think it will make shipping more competitive. I think we're going to actually preserve and expand American jobs. And I think the most important thing that President Trump wants is we're going to expand our manufacturing capacity by offering more ways to ship products to get them to ports and get them exported. We're going to make it cheaper. We're going to make it less complex. It's going to be better for everyone across the board.
Yeah, better for everybody. More options and a golden age. All right, so the golden moose, the Teddy Roosevelt thing, I like it. Greatly appreciated, Aiden. And keep your head down. Be safe there, would you please?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aiden Buzzetti. Bull Moose Project. An iconic railroad merger. Will it help things? Maybe. Maybe it will. We've got to get things going in the right direction here. All right, this part of the program is brought to you by my good friends at the Wellness Company. Please support the people that support this program that make it possible every single day. I'd appreciate it, all right? Could your health issues be caused by an invisible enemy, fatigue, bloating, brain fog? What if parasites are the problem you're having? I was digging into parasite cleanses when I came across a video from a trusted doctor who mentioned that. I thought, wow, really? Ivermectin and mebendazole, he said, are two powerful antipathogens, but what's even more fascinating, these medications are frequently used in oncology to treat cancer. They have anti-pathogenic properties that stunt the growth of harmful invaders and even have the potential to slow down abnormal cell growth. Pretty remarkable. Did you know 60 million Americans have parasites? And that's scary. They invade your body, wreak havoc. I mean, if you eat sushi, if you have pets in the house, these little guys can sneak in. So how about a cleanse, a parasite cleanse? The Wellness Company has a solution, ivermectin and mebendazole. It is the gold standard FDA-approved parasite solution. Find out more, right? Find out more. twc.health/Gruber. twc.health/Gruber. You can find out more. Save $60 and get free shipping.